Don't just live for tomorrow, or just live in yesterday. Just be glad for all you have that's in today. And though you've come through many obstacles.
Hey everyone, Connie here, and welcome to my blind reaction to The IP Man. This is a movie donation reward for Matthew Vasquez. Thank you, Matthew, for donating and for choosing this. I have no idea what this is, like, at all. I know nothing about this film. I had never heard of it before it was requested. I don't know what it's about. I have no idea. When I was getting it, though, when I was downloading it, I saw that there were a few of them. So I guess there is an entire series of films for this. The title doesn't tell me much either. Like, there's probably a few things IP Man could mean. So I really don't have anything to glean off of that. So I don't know what I'm getting myself into here. Or rather, Matthew, what you're getting me into. So I'm just going to kind of have to take it as it goes and just see. But, I mean, if you were thinking about, like, donating for the rest of them in the future or whatnot, obviously I'd be fine with that, provided, of course, I like this, but you can donate for them anyway. You're probably just waiting to see if I like this, waiting to see what I think of this first one, which is perfectly fair, especially since there are sometimes things that I don't quite get into on the channel and whatnot, so that's perfectly fair. But yeah, we'll see how this goes. We'll see what is in store as we begin this, because like I said, I don't know anything. I don't really have anything to say because of that. But for anyone who might wish to donate and are able to, just as a reminder, donations for the month of June are doubled up. It is a special promotion for June 2022 only, at least for now. We might do it again in the future, I don't know. But where for every donation, instead of one reward, you get two. Two rewards for the price of one. And as usual, donations are anything you can afford. It can be as big or small as you want. It's completely up to you. So, yeah. But, you just have to, donate via PayPal, and you can ask me in comments or wherever if I've seen something. It can be a movie, a series, YouTube video, etc., whatever. As long as I haven't seen it, it's fair game. Doesn't matter the age of it, doesn't matter what country it comes from, doesn't matter any of that, as long as it's out and available and I can see it. So yeah. And as always, it is completely optional. You don't have to do it. It's only if you want to and are able to. It won't stop you from seeing anything on the channel. All my content will be available to see for everyone, and completely for free. Nothing will ever be behind a paywall. So, all of that being said, thank you so much for tuning in. We're going to get into this. So, when the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black and then fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the movie. So, that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why that hit me so hard in the end there. Like, the instant it popped up, the instant I saw Bruce Lee's name, it's just instantly, it hit me really hard. And it's, because that's a big deal. Like, when people think of martial arts, especially Kung Fu, they think of Bruce Lee. He is probably the best known martial artist there is in terms of world renown. So that's a big deal. I want to look up some stuff here about this movie. But while this is coming up and all, kind of a little fun fact about this. I've never seen a martial arts film in full. I've seen pieces of martial arts films here and there, but I've never seen a martial arts film in its entirety. And so getting to see this was a treat. And going into it not knowing it was a martial arts film in the first place, like, kind of made it even better. So this came out in 2008. According to this, is a biographical martial arts film based on the life of Ip Man, a grandmaster in the martial art Wing Chun and teacher of Bruce Lee. The film focuses on events in Ip's life that supposedly took place in the city of Foshan during the Sino-Japanese War. So apparently it's based on real events, which, like, based on the way the ending was set and how it, like, was giving you all this exposition on what happened afterwards and everything. It's like I was already getting that even before it said that his student was Bruce Lee. So I was already putting that together and stuff. And I wanted to look up the main actor for Ip Man, and it's Donnie Yen. And I said while the credits were rolling at the beginning that I didn't recognize any of the names. Did I say that the first time I tried starting to record it when there were no subtitles, or did I say that after the second time when I might have said that the first time I tried recording it when there was no subtitles and all. But I wanted to see if I knew him from anything, and I do. He was in Rogue One, a Star Wars story, and he was in the live-action Mulan. And I think I knew this already, but I forgot about it. Let me actually check here, because I remember this was requested. Let me check my comments here. Okay, yeah, so when he requested this, he asked, have you seen any of the Ip Man series with Donnie Yen? I've been watching the series lately, thought it might make an interesting reaction. I responded, I have no clue what that is. I do know Donnie Yen from Rogue One. He was also in Blade 2 and the live-action Mulan. I somehow forgot, like, it just skipped my mind when I was watching the credits. And it's like, the name Donnie Yen kind of sounded familiar to me, but it's like, it just, my mind completely blanked on it. It's like, yeah, I know who Donnie Yen is. And the funny thing is here, Matthew Vasquez even said, yeah, it's about Bruce Lee's teacher. I think it's Donnie Yen's first movie back in 2008. And I responded to that and all, and he donated for it. So yeah, I actually knew that it was a martial arts film about Bruce Lee's teacher. But I forgot about it. This was like 4 weeks ago, according to this, that donation came in. And somehow I just completely put that out of my mind and forgot about it entirely. I completely forgot that he told me what the movie was to a degree about. So I completely forgot that Ip Man was Bruce Lee's teacher. I completely forgot it was a martial arts film in general. All this stuff. And I'm so fucking happy I did. Like, I want to make that very clear, because this was a phenomenal experience. I wouldn't put this as, like, my favorite movie of all time, and I don't even know if I would say it's my favorite movie I ever reacted to on the channel this year. I've got to go through all the movies I've reacted to this year and just all the movies I've seen this year in general. Um, but I would say it's probably up there. This was really fucking good. I was invested in the story, and while I was definitely having a hard time getting names down because I suck at that, but also because I'm really bad with a lot of Asian names specifically. And I try my best. It's just I'm not good with that at all. And I admit that, and I admit that I need to work a little harder on it sometimes. But yeah, so it's going to be hard for me to talk about this and explain who each character is without like knowing all of their names. Though I could just bring up the Wikipedia thing here. But yeah, because I have the names here. So this was really good. We follow the story kind of through two different points. There's the first chapter, which is much shorter than the second. And it's kind of an introductory chapter of sorts. It introduces the characters, shows where things are at the beginning, and explains just who our main character is, what he stands for, and all of that. We meet Ip Man, who, as described here, is the son of a wealthy family and Foshan's only practitioner of the martial art form known as Wing Chun. And he has a wife and child who he doesn't pay enough attention to. Instead, he's focused on training and spending time with his friends and meeting with them and stuff. During this time, a group of martial arts practicing thugs come in and start challenging every dojo in Foshan on Dojo Street. And they are beating all of the masters, not to take over their dojos, but to establish dominance so that they can create their own dojo there and basically take all the students for themselves, in a way. He finally goes to take on Ip Man and is thoroughly whooped. So he runs away with his tail between his legs, and we kind of get to see through this and through some other events and stuff that Ip Man is a man of not only great renown within Foshan, but he's also a man of great honor. He's respectful, he's kind, he's caring, he shows a lot of love and attentiveness towards those that he has a connection with. And we get to see how just strong he is while also defining his character. But then the Japanese invade China. And this leads into our second chapter, which focuses on Ip Man and his life with his family and friends after the invasion. The invasion has happened. The Japanese are basically taking over and occupying Foshan. And so Ip Man and his family are living in squalor. He's having to get a job pushing around coal and stuff just to be able to feed his family. And at this point, the Japanese are holding these impromptu fighting matches, these martial arts matches, where they bring in people from across the low-class working what would be a word for that? Just the low-class workers. They're bringing them in and telling them, if you win, you get a bag of rice. And they're even holding some special matches where it's like, okay, you can win or lose, doesn't matter. You'll still walk away with a bag of rice. But pretty much everybody is losing. The Japanese are completely dominating with their karate, which I see here, like looking at this, it is karate. And it's completely one-sided. Well, one of Ip Man's friends ends up going in there, and he gets a little too aggressive with trying to defeat the general, even though his friends have already given up, and he ends up being killed in the fight. And eventually it goes down to Ip Man finding out about everything and going to basically investigate, you could say. And that's where he sees another one of his friends killed, except this time he's shot in the head by the colonel, who is way too aggressive. So Ip Man goes in and challenges 10 of the karate students at once, manages to defeat them and leave, taking his friend's bag of rice with him to give to his family. And so eventually it comes down to where Ip Man has to take on the general. And even though he's shot after winning, he does win. And that win unites China to fight back against Japan, leading to Japan surrendering and China winning the war. It was a catalyst. And I don't know how much of this was maybe exaggerated for the film or whatnot. How much of the actual specifics of it were obviously like fudged a little bit because, you know, movie, you have to make it entertaining and whatnot. But like, I'm sure like the war was real, and even how it ended was probably real, and going into like the specifics of how Ip Man started his dojo and his training and everything. I'm sure all of that, like especially the ending, like the epilogue, God, what would you call it? I used the word earlier and I can't think of it. Don't you hate when that happens? When you're just having brain fart upon brain fart? Exposition. The epilogue exposition, where it's telling everything that happened in his life and everything after. I believe all of that was probably real. But I'm just talking like the main content of the film probably had some exaggerations and some just things made movie ready, you know? But yeah, it was really interesting. And I really do feel I got invested in it. In the characters, in what was going on in general. I was invested. And yeah, I had a lot of fun with this, and would definitely be interested in seeing more at some point. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. I thought it was a fun movie. It was exciting. It was intense. It hit all the right notes. It was emotional. Like it got me very, very teary-eyed at points. Yeah, I don't know like what the other movies are going to be about though. Like there's an entire series of movies here. I don't know what the sequels could be about unless they just talk about like more of his life after this, or maybe one's a prequel and it goes on like prior to the events of this movie. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. But yeah, this was really, really good. I'm really glad I got to see this. And again, I'm really glad I forgot that, Matthew, you told me what it was, at least to a small degree, in the comments when you suggested it. So I'm glad I forgot about that. For once, I'm happy that my memory is wonky as shit. But yeah, tell me in the comments below what you thought of Ip Man. And I apologize for calling it IP Man at first. I didn't know. I did not know what this movie was going into it, remember? So I didn't know it was Ip Man. But yeah, tell me your thoughts down below, and thank you so much for tuning in. For now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.